right, so this is kind of an impromptu. It doesn't matter because my hair needs to be touched up. When I mean touched up, it needs to be lined up and cut. So this video is really for those of you who go to the barber shop. You have a male or maybe a female, I don't know, whoever the barber is, they tend to cut your hair too low, too much, not leaving enough hair for you to have the definition or the curl or the style that you want that looks more feminine. It looks too masculine. Not that anything is wrong with that, because if you have a lower cut than mine that's not tapered and that's the look that you're going for, then going to a barber is probably one of the best things you can do, because they're going to cut it in that style to make it look masculine, feminine, if that makes sense. But when you have a tapered cut like mine and you don't want this bald fade look, or it's cut too low and it looks masculine to you, then here are some tips that you could do for yourself. If you're able to communicate this to a barber, show them this video. We'll go from there. They know exactly what to do if they just watch the video. But if you plan on doing this yourself, here are some tips that you can try in order to shape your taper cut without cutting too much off. So here are the tips. So the obvious first tip is to use a pick or a comb, doesn't matter. Use a pick or a comb, and you want to pick out the areas around that you're actually going to be cutting. So since I have a tapered cut, I'm actually going to be fixing this area of it, just kind of cleaning it up. So you want to pick the hair outward so that you are only focusing on this area that you're going to cut. So whatever you need to do to get those curls out, it's easier to cut your hair when it's in somewhat of an afro state. And this is what you do. So step number 2, all you might really need is a good lineup. And when I mean lineup, mostly in the nape of your hair. I do my hairline, my hairline, my front hairline. I do that because I like the shape that it gives me once I style my hair. But sometimes that's all you really need for it to look clean, is just line yourself up. I would prefer that you use something small like trimmers for that. They also have different heads that are a little bit wider. You can do that. But just some regular trimmers, small trimmers that you can find at any store, Walmart, Target, doesn't matter. And just line up your nape and, if you want to, your hairline and around your ears. So tip number 3 is not tricky, but it depends on what you like, the length of your hair that you like it to be. So I'll give you the first one in tip number 3. If you're okay with the length that you have after you have lined up your hair, you have 2 options. The first one is you can just pick a number 1 guard. So I'm going to find my number 1 guard, and I'm going to put that on on a set of clippers. So these are clippers. These are my Andis clippers. Are these the Andis? Yeah, these are my Andis clippers. And instead of cutting off, you actually want to take the bulk off of the hairline or the lineup that you have. So say for in the back, you can see that my hair is extended out on the sides, along the hairline, along the edges. I want to take that bulk out. So what I would do is I would take my clippers and just go along the line of my lineup and just go down to cut or taper down so that those aspects of it would be flat. And I would do the same thing here as well. I would cut downward. This is a good idea if you do not have what we call tapered guards. So to take the bulk out or to lay this flat so it doesn't look like it's standing out, just go downward around the hairline or the outline that you've created. The other option that you could use is just using taper guards. And as you can see, these taper guards are meant to be able to create that short to long with no problem, just swiping from the sides back. So this is a really good one for those of you who feel like you have too much hair, you want to cut it down a little bit more, or you want to just, when you want to cut it down a little bit more. And if you want to have somewhat of a faux hawk in the back, so you want to leave hair in the center aspect so that you would get this faux hawk or mohawk look to your tapered cut. So I'm going to be using a taper guard, and you actually will be using it the opposite ear. So if you have a right ear guard, you would more than likely would be using it on the left side. And if you have a left guard, so this is actually a left guard, you would be using it on the right side. The reason why they're labeled left and right, because if you were cutting someone else's hair, a barber is cutting your hair, they would use it on the appropriate side. So they would use the left guard on the left side, right guard on the right side. But because you're cutting your own hair, it's the opposite direction. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to start off with my left ear guard, and I'm going to do my right side. So tip number 4 or step number 4, this is what you do if once you're done. You want to use a number 1 guard, or depending on if your hair is a little bit longer and you want a little bit more bulk on the edges, you'll use a number 2 guard. But I would always recommend you use the number 1 so that you could take the bulk out on the edges of your hair. So like here, here in the nape, and down below here if that's what you want based off your particular style or the way you want it to look. So use a number 1 guard, use your clippers, and take the bulk out by going in a downward motion, because that's what helps you to keep from cutting more than you want off on your hair. Last but not least, you want to check your lineup. So that's when we go back to our trimmers and we check our lineup. So you'll use a soft bristle brush or hard brush. It's totally up to you. You want to brush your hair in the direction that you want it to fall, and then you'll just take your trimmers and just finish up the lineup. If it's not the way that you want to, it allows you to fix it, and this is your final step. So that's 5 easy steps on how you can cut your own hair. I try to break it down as simple as I possibly can. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. I'll try to answer them as best as I can. Other than that, you can definitely check out my playlist. I have natural hair cutting 101 videos of me cutting my hair and showing you what clippers you can use and all of that cool stuff. So make sure you check out that playlist. I'll make sure it's linked if not right now, somewhere on the end here. And make sure you subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be doing more videos like this, more wig videos, more videos, period. Welcome to 2019. Hope you enjoyed it. Give this video a thumbs up. Share it if someone needs to know how to do this. And I will see you guys in the next video of me styling my hair. Bye.